In this video, I'll be explaining about the user interactions that take place within the desktop version of our task management application. This video is similar to the one made about the user interactions on the mobile version of our application. It follows the same structure, meaning that the user interactions are ordered in the same way that our features are ordered in our SRS document. Starting off with feature number 1, account management. Signing up. When the user enters our application for the first time, they will be presented with a startup screen in which they will have the option to log in or sign up. When the user presses the sign up button, they will be directed to a form in which they can enter their details and then press the register button. After that, an OTP will be sent to their email, which they will then be asked to verify. Upon successful verification, a success screen will be shown and the user will be redirected to the login screen. Logging in. When the user presses the login button, they will be asked to enter an email and its associated password. Upon pressing the login button, an OTP will be sent to their email, which they will then be asked to verify. Upon successful verification, they will be shown a success screen and be redirected to the home page of our application. Resetting password. If in the case that the user forgets their password, they have the option to click the forget password button, which will redirect them to a form in which they will enter their email. An OTP will then be sent to their email, which they will then be asked to verify. Upon successful verification, a new form will be shown to them in which they will have the option to reset their password. Upon successful resetting, a success screen will be shown to them and the user will be redirected to the login screen. Editing account details. On the home page of our screen, the user can click the account button on the top right hand side of the screen. Once this is clicked, a new form will show in which they will see the details that they entered while they were signing up. When the user presses the edit button, a new form will show in which they will be able to edit their details except the email address. Once they press the update button, a success message will be shown and the details will be written to the database. Logging out. On the home screen, if the user presses the logout button on the top left side of the screen, the user will be successfully logged out and the startup page will be returned, in which they will have to then log in again or sign up with a new account. Feature number 2, main task management. Adding a task. When the user presses the to-do list on the home screen, they will be redirected to a page in which they can see a list of all the added tasks. If the user presses the plus icon on the top right, they will be redirected to a form in which they can fill out the details of the new task. When they press the add button, the new task will be added to the list, a success message will be shown, and the updated list will be returned to the user. Deleting a task. If the user wishes to delete any number of tasks within his to-do list, they will click the icon on the bottom right of the screen. They will then proceed to select any number of tasks and then re-click the icon on the bottom right of the screen. Upon doing this, a success message will be shown and the task that they have selected will be deleted. An updated to-do list will be returned to the user. Editing a task. If the user wishes to edit a task, they can click any task that they want to on their to-do list. This will open up the task view page in which they will be able to see the completion bar, the details of the task, and any subtasks that have been created underneath it. If the user clicks the menu icon on the top right, they will be shown a drop down in which they will have a button to edit the task. Once clicked, a form will open in which they can edit any detail that they want to of the task. Once the update button is pressed, a success message is shown to the user, the updated details are written to the database, and the updated to-do list is returned to the user. Completing a task. If the user wishes to mark any task as completed, they simply need to click the checkbox next to the task name. This will put a check mark within that checkbox, and after a few seconds, the entire task will disappear and be moved to the completed tasks list. Feature number 3, subtask management. Adding a subtask. On the task view page, if the user clicks the plus icon, they will be redirected to a form in which they can add details of a new subtask. Once the add button is pressed, a success message is shown, the new task is added to the list, and the updated subtask list is returned to the user. Deleting a subtask. On the task view page, if a user clicks any specific subtask, they will be redirected to the subtask view page where they can see the details of the subtask, the completion bar of the parent task, as well as several other buttons. If the user presses the delete button, they will be shown a success screen, after which the subtask page that they were in will be deleted and an updated subtask list will be returned to the user. Editing a subtask. On the task view page, if a user clicks any specific subtask, they will be redirected to its subtask view page. If the user clicks the edit button on the bottom of the screen, they will be redirected to a form in which they can change any detail of the subtask that they require. After the update button is pressed, a success message is shown. The updated changes are saved to the database and the updated subtask list is returned to the user. Completing a subtask. If the user wishes to mark any subtask as completed, they simply need to click the checkbox next to the subtask name. This will add a check mark within that subtask checkbox, as well as put a strike through the subtask name. The final feature, feature number 4, task distribution, inviting a member. On the task view page, if the user clicks the invite member button, they will be redirected to a form in which they can enter the invited member's email and the role that the member will play. The invited member could either be an editor or a viewer. Once the invite button is pressed, an email is sent to the invited member notifying them that they have been invited to this specific task. The user is then redirected back to the task view page in which the icon of the invited member is added to the top right of where the subtasks can be viewed. Assigning a member. On the task view page, if the user wishes to assign an invited member to a specific subtask, they will first click the subtask. This will redirect them to the subtask view page. If the user here clicks the assign member icon, they will be shown a drop-down in which all the invited members will be shown, whether they have been assigned or whether they are still unassigned. If the user wishes to assign an unassigned member, they simply have to click the plus icon next to their email address. After this, the drop-down will close and the icon of the assigned member will be added to the bottom of where the subtask details are written. Similarly, the assigned person's icon will also be added on the right side of the subtask name in the task view page under where the subtasks are listed. Lastly, the error messages will be displayed on the screen wherever appropriate.